Record. Okay, beautiful. Is this thing on?
Can you hear me now? Is it the Verizon guy?
Right, right. So welcome everybody to the introduction to virtual clinic. This is Denise, and she is, what would we call you, Denise? Are you the facilitator,
Some days the jack of all trades. No,
the
my
jack of all trades, the Jill of
official
all trades? How
title.
about we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
with Jill of all trades?
Yeah.
She is going to share information on Virtual Clinic, which is a new resource that we have made possible and available to the holistic professionals in the community of holistic pros. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Denise take the stage and share information with you about Virtual Clinic and what they have available and to offer. So I'm going to set this up so it is speaker and you are spotlighted. Go
Oh,
for it.
mercy. I don't like being in the spotlight, Sonia.
Then share your
Yeah.
screen and you won't be in the spotlight anymore.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'll be sharing that really fast. So thank you. We are super excited. And yes, it's been a little bit longer getting here than what we had hoped. Both of us, I think, ended up having a few fires to put out, which is a good thing. But here we are. So happy whatever day we are. Tuesday. We're here. Tuesday tips, Tuesdays, whatever's.
Yeah, Tuesday
So
coffee chat. We'll go with the
coffee
Tuesday
chat. That's
coffee chat. Tea
right.
time, coffee chat.
I
Yeah.
brought my smoothie. I didn't bring my coffee. So
Next time.
oh well, all good, all good. Yes. So virtualclinic.md exists to provide access to testing that non-traditional functional thinking health practitioners want. So about probably been close to 10 years ago now, our founder, who is a MD in the emergency room, saw the vision for two things. One, he didn't think that the United States was going to get healthier. And two, he knew that telehealth was coming even 10 years ago. He was a very forward thinking practitioner, doctor. And so when he put those two things together, the missing piece to the puzzle is that as we were growing and becoming less healthy as a society, there weren't really a lot more licensed traditional MDDOs to help the growing masses. I think the numbers go something like this. There's about 1 million licensed MD and DOs. There are 330 million Americans, but there are 5 million of us non-traditional, functional thinking health practitioners. And so he often says, we need to pull up the reservists. We need to provide a way for those 5 million of us to help the 330 million. And the one thing that he thought could make the greatest impact in that support was testing. So in our country doesn't see fit or doesn't see the need for non-MDDOs to be able to order tests like traditional blood chemistry test or hormone testing or microbiome testing or DNA testing, or the list goes on. And so he created Virtual Clinic about 10 years ago with only blood chemistry. So our partnership is with LabCorp, and LabCorp is probably the largest blood chemistry lab in the country. And, there's not many places around the United States that you can't find a draw site nearby. And so, again, in forward thinking of telehealth, so I, as a health coach here in Kentucky, have clients that I work with that are all over the country. And so this is a great resource for me to be able to order blood work because unfortunately, as you guys know, traditional MD and DOs don't necessarily think functionally. And so a lot of the blood chemistry or a lot of the tests that we know are valuable and important aren't necessarily ordered by the traditional world. So blood chemistry was the original purpose of virtual clinic. And so over the last couple of years, we have added more and more functional lab partners. So I think right now we're up to about 16 lab partners, and I'm continuing to grow it every day. The good news is because we are somewhat of a boutique service offering, if I have a clinician that says, oh my gosh, Denise, I really wish that you had fill in the blank lab as part of your offering. I go, cool, let me go search for it and see if it's something that we can bring into our practitioners. So that's why we had two when I came on board a year ago, and now we have 16. Because I keep finding and going, oh, this is really beneficial. This is helpful. So that's kind of the really long-winded gist of who we are and why we're here. At the end of the day, we're offering access to testing, diagnostic solutions for non-traditional functional thinking health practitioners.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, any questions so far that you can think of? You've been writing feverishly there, Miss Sonia.
No, we're good so far. I don't have any question. I was just writing down the numbers.
Oh yeah,
I'm always interested in that kind of information.
it's pretty
Yeah.
staggering.
So,
For sure.
the only question that I could think of that if I was going to ask a question is, although it's a telehealth remote, when people what's the process of getting, is that something that practitioners need to know, the process of that draw? How does that happen?
Yeah, so I'll tell you really quickly how easy it
Mhm.
is, and then if you want me to share my screen, I can
Yeah,
kind of walk you
definitely.
through
And
that a little bit.
if that's what is next, then let's just go ahead and share the
Yeah,
screen and show
yep.
people how to make it happen.
So it really is as easy as 3 steps. The clinician creates an account. There's no
Mhm.
fee for the account. There's no monthly minimums for the account. And then you start ordering tests. And
Okay.
those tests, depending on what they are. So again, if it's a traditional LabCorp test, you're going to get a requisition
Mhm.
in your portal that you give to your patient, or now you don't even have to give to the patient because we are integrated with LabCorp. So literally they just walk into their LabCorp draw site with
Mhm.
their driver's license and they already know what you need. And then
Excellent.
when the results come back, the results also come back into your portal attached
Beautiful.
to that patient. So it really is that easy. When we talk about the other functional lab partners, most, if not all of them, drop ship a box, a kit
Okay.
to your house or
Mhm.
to the practitioner's office. And then you kind of go through it that way. Same thing, you mail the test sample back depending on what the sample is. You know, if it's microbiome stool sample, if it's hormones, urine and saliva, if it's toxic metals, urine, whatever the sample fluid is,
Got it.
there's a way to mail that back to the lab. Same thing. They do their magic on it, and then the results show up back in your portal.
Nice.
So it really
Excellent.
is that easy.
Yep.
I am
Beautiful.
going to share my screen and walk you guys through how easy it is. All right. Can you see that, Sonia?
Yes.
Perfect. So this is the virtualclinic.md landing page. This is our public facing website. There is information in there about who we are, who our partners, both lab partners and service partners are. We've got testimonials and FAQs, just like most other websites.
Mhm.
We have just this year launched our Brain Science Institute. So our current president is a brain lover. And
Nice.
so this was one of his brainchilds to launch the Brain Science Institute. And so with that, we can help foster brain health, both from a traditional mental health perspective, as well as working and partnering with Dr. Amen and Amen Clinics, as well as Dr.
Nice.
Bredesen and his group there at the end of Alzheimer's. So it really is, the more things we're bringing in, both diagnostically and treatment, I'm sorry, I can't say treatment, therapies, then the better we know that people can be with brain health.
Yeah.
Blogs, contact us. And then on the right, you see there is a register now and a clinician login. Obviously, if you don't have an account yet, we're going to start with register now. And then you simply put in your first name, last name, and phone number, email address. You create your own password. We do not know what that password is. We can reset it for you, but we don't know what it is.
Beautiful.
Time zone, and then in user type, you want to click or choose clinician. And then if you have credentials, you don't have to put that in, but you want to make sure that you go down here to Holistic Pros and choose as your affiliation so that we know where you came from. And if we want to do some specific partnering with Sonia, we can do some specific email blast or partnership marketing programs with you guys. But we have to know that you came from her. And then you finish filling that out and you click register. So I am actually going to click login, and I'm going to log you into our demo site so that I don't violate any HIPAA violations. And so this is a sneak peek into the portal. Very easy, user-friendly. Most of the time, you're going to spend your time here under test and order test clients. We have over 350 different kinds of tests. Most of them are blood chemistry panels, obviously, because there's more specific types of tests in a blood chemistry world than there is in some of the others. But I do want to bring your attention here. So, for example, let's say that I want to order a thyroid panel. So I type in thyroid in my search engine, and we see classic thyroid. We have comprehensive thyroid, which again, in the functional world, most functional practitioners want that comprehensive because we know that thyroid health is not just based on one marker. It's based on how those markers all work together. And you have the ability then to add it to the cart or to add it to your favorites. And so as you begin to become familiar with, or maybe you already know what specific test you'd like to order, you can just tag it with this heart and it shows up here on the left under favorites. So I don't have any in my favorites right now.
Beautiful.
Let's see here. We can also browse by, let me get rid of thyroid. We can also browse by our lab partners. Doctors' data, primarily we use their toxic urine test, as well as a urine neurotransmitter test. Those are the kind of two that most people tend to use. Dutch is going to be our hormone partner, so that's a urine and saliva test. M3 is our mental health partner. Diagnostic Solution is our gut microbiome partner, so they've got both a GI map and a new one that's not even on the site yet called an omics, which looks at organic acids. So I actually was in a webinar about that yesterday, and we had a clinician who said, can you put that on there? So we're in the process of adding that. Toolbox Genomics is our DNA partner. So they have DNA panels for wellness, as well as pharmacogenomics, which is how does my body metabolize pharmaceuticals. So some people, most functional practitioners, don't necessarily want their patients and clients on pharmaceuticals, but sometimes they come to them and are. And so that's a good option to have in kind of your back pocket. And then Genova Diagnostics has tons of tests. We primarily use their micronutrient test because, again, it's a non-blood micronutrient. So you can easily search by any of these lab partners and you get, the test from them. Same thing, you add it to the cart and then you check out. You also have your option here to add your patients. And these are just, again, some test patients. So I will click on SAM test. Basic information we have just as of this morning, I will say, hot off the press, added this visit note option. So it is not a traditional EHR software, but we are at least allowing the clinician, especially those who don't have an EHR system, to at least begin to put some notes in their patient chart, either from a visit perspective or from a follow-up. So if you want to be alerted, hey, I need to run Sam's comprehensive panel again, or I need to relook at his thyroid panel, or I need to test hormones again in 3 months, 6 months, a year, you can add that in as a follow-up. So that's pretty exciting. Like I said, I just found out about that literally this morning. So I'm like, yay, it's here. The follow-ups are going to then show up on your dashboard as a calendar reminder. So that's super exciting. That's going to be live probably in a couple of weeks. Let's see here. M3 is our mental health screening. So this is just some information about this particular screen. What can I say about M3? So M3 is a screening solution that allows any kind of health practitioner to easily screen everybody for mental health. So we know that chronic health conditions follow quickly with mental health. Because obviously, if somebody has a chronic health condition and they've been struggling with that for quite some time, usually anxiety, panic attacks, depression follow suit. As you can imagine, when we don't feel well for a long period of time,
Right.
it starts to work on our psyche and our mental health.
Yeah.
So this is a really easy 3-minute, 27-question assessment that a link is sent to the client's phone. They fill it out on the phone and they send it back in.
Nice.
It does not diagnose, but it gives the practitioner another tool in their toolbox to help their patient and to be able to say, hey, talk to me about what's going on, because we may not always know or think about their mental health. So we are really excited to be able to partner with this organization to bring this to our clinicians. COVID-19 is an antibody test that we were fortunate enough to have on our portal back when COVID was hot and heavy. It was the only rapid oral saliva, obviously, pan-Ig antibody test that was on the market, and it was really super easy to do and a really good way to help people know if they were antibody positive for COVID back then. People don't really much care about that anymore, but it's still here should that need arise again. Metabolics is one of our partners that does weight management, specifically around genetics. Resources, we've got some services here. Which labs should I order? So again, when our clinicians are not that familiar with specific types of blood chemistry or specific blood chemistry tests, then they can begin to learn. And Dr. Brown, who's our president right now, he put these together just as an easy way to help teach practitioners who may not have been trained on blood chemistry. Really easy, you know,
Beautiful.
2, 3, 5-minute ones. And here is that easy
Oh,
LabCorp
perfect.
search, right? So Manchester, New Hampshire. Let's see what LabCorps do we have near Manchester. So there's one in Bedford.
Perfect.
So if I lived in the Manchester area, I
Mhm.
could go to this LabCorp site and have my blood drawn. Easy peasy for the practitioner to find who is near them. And I think that's about all for the portal. It really is super easy. I'll order a quick test. Actually, I think I have one. Let me clear these out because I did a training earlier today with the new practitioner.
I
And
am, hang on. I'm
yeah,
going to pause this for a second.
right. Very cool. So in these last couple of minutes, I'll walk you through a quick ordering process. So I've logged in, I go up to test order client, and let's just search for vitamin D, my favorite. So here it is, vitamin D. Ooh, that's the big one. I don't want that one. I want the little one. Here we go. Vitamin D 25 hydroxy. Now, this first number right here, 20, that's your cost. What you do with that for your patients or clients is up to you. There are certain regulations in certain states. New Hampshire, I don't think has any. So you can either say to your patient, hey, I think I need to run your vitamin D. We need to know, excuse me, what your vitamin D level is. I'm going to order it for you. Pay me 20 bucks. It's cost, you're passing it on. You may choose to do that. You may choose to mark it up, some or a lot. You may charge them $40 for a vitamin D test. Totally up to you. That's on your side. You may say, as some of our practitioners do, if you want to work with me, I only work with people in a 3-month boot camp. And for that 3-month boot camp, it's going to be $500 or $1,000 or $20,000. I don't know. It's your practice. But you get to choose as part of that 3-month program, you are going to incorporate a test, a vitamin D test, a microbiome test, whatever. It's part of your cost. So it's totally up to you how you want to pass this on to your practitioners. We have some practitioners who will do a membership program, like a direct primary care type of program, and say, if you want to work with me, it's $100 a month. It's $59 a month. And for that $59 a month for 1 year, you're going to get this lab panel when you start, and we're going to do it again in 6 months. It's all part of your package. So totally up to you. But if you want something else, then that's going to be something outside the package. So I'm going to add this to my cart by clicking the little cart, and there it is. There is a $4.65 draw fee. And then either I can continue shopping and go pick additional blood panels, or I can check out. So I'm going to check out. There's what I'm doing. So I'm just verifying that, yes, that's what I'm ordering. I hit continue, and either I'm going to choose my patient from my existing patients, or I'm going to add a new one. You add a new one, super easy. Sonia, helper, just so I know that it's not a real person. I know that's not Sonia's last name. And save. So now Sonia Helper shows up as my patient. I go ahead and hit continue, put in my credit card information, and process order. It's that easy.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is
And then
great.
when the results come back, the results will either come back in Sonia's chart,
Mhm.
or under test, you'll see test results. Test requisition is where your requisitions show up that you would give your client if you needed to. Like I said, we're all integrated now with LabCorp,
Mhm.
so they don't have to do that. But anyway, that's how easy it is.
Excellent.
Any other questions that you can think of?
I do not have any questions right now. I don't think.
You did have a question earlier.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, the only question that I can foresee coming through is what about insurance?
Right. So as of today, virtual clinic is a cash practice, and our clinicians who use us are cash practices. We do have a couple of clinicians who will print out a form of bill, kind of like a super bill, for their patient or client and allow the patient and client to turn it into their insurance company. And then the insurance company pays the patient back, not the clinician and not virtual clinic.
Okay, perfect.
Also, if a clinician or if a patient or client has an FSA or HSA, HRA, any of those kinds of, I got a credit card for
Mhm.
other kind of medical expenses, generally those will work at the clinician's office.
Okay, perfect.
But ultimately, the clinician pays virtual clinic, and then however they work their package with the patient is in their practice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank
So
you so
we've got,
much.
you're
Yes,
welcome. We've got great things coming in 2023.
beautiful.
Yeah, so always adding more, and I'm always here if somebody has questions either about how to do something in the portal, or if there's a different lab partner that they want to work with, or if they have questions. I've even done some brainstorming with clinicians in practice management.
Okay,
How can I add something to my practice? How can I incorporate something with my practice? And so that's always fun too.
excellent. And the best way to contact you, Denise?
You can either go through the virtual clinic phone number, or I'm happy to give you
Okay,
my cell phone. Everybody has it. I don't care. I'm not one of those. Oh, I don't have. I probably should be, but whatever.
okay.
Um,
We
and you
can,
can, yeah, you can list my number under the video or
okay. Yep,
however,
we'll do
in the
that.
email, however we want to do that.
Yeah, we'll put
And
all of the
I'll,
links and information in the comments below so that people
yep,
have access to it. Beautiful.
yep. And
Oh,
we'll be adding
excellent.
some stuff to help you guys with your content in your Facebook group, which we're super excited about, and
Yes.
help any way we can.
Excellent. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. This will be live on YouTube here very quickly. I am going
Sounds
to
great.
end.
Welcome aboard. We're excited to have you guys, and thank you for everything that you guys are doing for folks in New Hampshire and beyond.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. I look forward to seeing how this all shakes out for everybody.
Sounds
Excellent.
great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.